I still believe in what's happening over here in La Sierra. I've been involved with the land grant issue since I can remember, but my grandfather in 1960 was one of the first people to become plaintiffs along with Apolinar Rael and Juan Lacombe and some other elders to file a lawsuit against Taylor. The logging was just going to destroy the watershed. Everybody in agriculture in San Acacio, Chama, and El Rito, starting in El Rito and going all the way down to San Acacio, depends on the water from this mountain back here. And by cutting the trees, you cut the canopy. So the sun hits the snow and it melts in February and March. And instead of having any water to irrigate in June, July, and August, the snow has melted. By that point, by early spring, there's no more water left. So a lot of people had to quit farming and leave the area. A lot of people have gone out and become educated and left the area because of lack of opportunities in the area. And then retired and have come back. Some have come back to live here and have done a lot of work because this was a land grant. So it was a violation of a treaty that we had signed with Mexico, the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo. And David Martinez, being a very well-educated scholar, started a newspaper called La Cucaracha. And he started educating the community about the abuse of the land grant by Taylor. I don't know how many decades it's going to take before we ever see harvesting size timber ever grow back on La Sierra. It won't be in my lifetime. Probably won't be in yours either. So it's going to be a long time before we fix the damage that was done by logging. At that time, I did something that I normally do peacefully and with nonviolence. I chained myself down to a cattle guard, metal cattle guard that was designed by a local engineer, who I'm very proud to say is my friend. And he designed the cattle guard so that there was no way they could take me out without cutting the cattle guard and cutting my head off at the same time. And then I was elected to get chained down to the cattle guard. So we made a lock box where I could stick my hand in and lock myself with a chain around my wrist, and then throw a carabiner and lock it inside this lock box, which was two tubes about this big around, just enough for my hands and my arms to fit in. There was no way the cops could get to it. There's no way they could get to it and try to unlock me. So for 77 hours, they finally gave up in frustration and called the Alamosa Rescue Squad to come and get me out. But what happened was that in that 77 hours, chaining myself to a cattle guard, the media says, if it bleeds, it leads. So, when you chain yourself to a cattle guard like that, the possibility of one of those logging trucks running over me was very real. It was a very distinct possibility.